She started this program, and it is now in its 5th season, where she is providing shoes to the homeless.
Brittney Griner has never been just another WNBA player. She's been a towering figure, literally and figuratively, dominating the paint, surviving global headlines, and returning time and time again to prove that she can't be silenced. But now, in 2025, the narrative looks different.
Well, Brian, as we mentioned earlier, Brittney Griner is healthy and safe, according to representatives who are helping to get her.
For the first time in her career, she's not wearing Phoenix Mercury purple. She's rocking Atlanta Dream red and blue, chasing one more shot at a championship, even as her numbers dip to career lows. 9 points a game, 5 boards. A role player's stat line for a Hall of Fame resume. And yet this week, Griner made headlines not for a dunk, not for a block, but for something far more personal. Ahead of Wednesday night's showdown with the Sparks, she turned to fans and asked for something that has nothing to do with the scoreboard. She made a request that reaches beyond basketball, beyond playoffs, beyond her legacy as a player. Bring shoes, bring towels, bring dignity to people who don't have it. That was the message of Griner's heart and soul shoe drive.
She said, "I went out and saw that people were on the Arizona streets during the summer and their feet were burning. Over 2,000 people have received shoes because of Brittney Griner. And so what the Mercury are going to do is continue that program and keep her spirit first and foremost there in the community."
A project she's carried for nearly a decade. At 34 years old, she's not begging for buckets. She's begging her community to show up for the unhoused, to turn Atlanta's final home games into something bigger than basketball. And that raises the real question. Is Brittney Griner writing the final chapter of her career as a champion on the court or as a champion for the people?
Yeah, good evening, guys. Over the past year, the community has certainly put their best foot forward, donating thousands of pairs of shoes in BG's honor. And today, we got to see the direct result of that generosity.
Stay locked in, because what we're about to break down proves once again why Brittney Griner is one of the most complicated, controversial, and inspiring figures the WNBA has ever seen. If you're watching this, hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more WNBA stories that go way deeper than the box score. To understand the weight of Brittney Griner's request, you've got to understand the journey. This isn't just about an Atlanta Dream veteran asking fans for donations. It's about a player who's lived through storms most athletes can't imagine.
In Brittney Griner's name, to show their support and love for BG. And another really cool thing, the players are stepping up.
Griner spent 11 seasons with the Phoenix Mercury, where she was more than a star. She was the face of the franchise, a champion in 2014, a 2-time scoring leader, a 10-time All-Star. Her dunks made highlight reels. Her defense anchored Mercury playoff runs. And for a long stretch, she was one of the most unstoppable forces in women's basketball. But her career has never been a straight line of glory.
Over the past year, folks across the valley have rallied behind Brittney Griner and her mission to provide shoes to the homeless. Rich is one of the fortunate ones to see those shoes reach their new owners.
I assure you that anything that they're receiving out there in the streets is better than what they have right now.
She's dealt with controversy, personal battles, and unimaginable public scrutiny. From heated ejections on the court to her detainment overseas that made international headlines, Griner's life has always been lived in the spotlight, sometimes by choice, other times against her will. And when she came back to the league, many wondered if she'd even play again, let alone keep pushing for another championship. Fast forward to 2025. She's in Atlanta, far from Phoenix, far from the comfort of a team that drafted her #1 overall back in 2013. And while her numbers are down, her impact isn't. Griner has shifted from center of attention on the court to center of gravity off the court. That's where the Heart and Soul Shoe Drive comes in, a project that started in 2016 with nothing more than shoes in the trunk of her car. Now, nearly a decade later, she's asking Atlanta to join the mission. Because for Griner, the story has never just been about points or rebounds. It's been about how you use your platform when the world is still watching. So let's break down exactly what Brittney Griner just did and why it matters. Step 1. The timing. Griner could have made this announcement in the offseason. She could have tied it to a press event or even pushed it through WNBA Cares. But instead, she chose the stretch run of the regular season, right before the playoffs, a moment when all eyes are on the Dream.
Phoenix Mercury are doing something very special. If you know Brittney Griner, you know what a huge heart she has. I have actually gone out with her on this drive. She started this program, and it is now in its 5th season, where she is providing shoes to the homeless.
That's not accidental. accidental. She knew attention was peaking, and she turned that spotlight toward Atlanta's most vulnerable. Step 2. The framing. Griner didn't ask for money. She didn't ask for sponsorships. She asked fans to bring shoes and towels. Everyday items. Things almost anyone can give. By making the request simple, she stripped away excuses. You're coming to the game? Then you can help. Step 3. The purpose. These donations don't just get tossed into some faceless bin. They go directly to Corner Evolution's Showered with Hope mobile shower and pop-up care village.
A season-long shoe drive by the Mercury in honor of BG collected more than 3,200 pairs of new and gently used shoes and raised more than $27,000.
I remember when we had the shoe drive over the summer, and the parking lot was filled with shoes.
A group dedicated to giving people experiencing homelessness clean clothes, warm showers, and a chance to feel human again. This isn't charity for headlines. This is about restoring dignity. Step 4. The legacy play. Griner started Heart and Soul in 2016, and it's grown every year. Over 2,000 people have already been helped. By moving it to Atlanta and tying it to the Dreams playoff push, she's proving this isn't a Phoenix thing. It's not a Mercury thing. It's a Brittney Griner thing. Her brand, her fight, her choice to connect her career's twilight with something that matters long after the final buzzer. So yeah, you could say this is just a shoe drive, but in reality, it's a carefully designed statement about who Brittney Griner is and who she wants to be remembered as. Here's where the story gets complicated, because for every fan praising Brittney Griner's compassion, there's another questioning her focus. And that's the contradiction that makes this moment so fascinating. On one hand, Griner's numbers this season are career lows. Under 10 points, barely 5 rebounds.
Within seconds of handing him the shoes, they were on his feet, a sense of despair seemingly washed away by a simple, selfless act, thanks to so many in our community who chose to give.
I appreciate every one of them.
There's some socks too, man.
Thank you, my friend.
For a player once feared as the most dominant center in the league, those stats look like decline. Atlanta fans are hungry for wins, and critics argue, shouldn't Griner be worrying about her jump hook, not shoe donations? On the other hand, this is Brittney Griner we're talking about, a woman who has been through far more than a box score. Her arrest overseas, the trade that brought her home, the media storm that followed, she's carried the weight of headlines most athletes never dream of. And through all of it, she's kept this shoe drive alive. That persistence raises the question, maybe her legacy was never just about basketball. Maybe it was always about something bigger. Then there's the team dynamic. Atlanta is chasing playoff seeding. Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray are playing like stars. Griner has taken a step back, but instead of sulking, she's leaned into being a veteran presence.
Crazy. People watch sports for 3 basic reasons: for rivalries, for games of consequence, and for household names, if you know the players. And we didn't have a lot of household names, even though we had amazing players back then and have amazing players beyond Caitlin and Angel.
The soul of the locker room. Some see her initiative as a distraction. Others see it as proof she's accepted a new role, not just blocking shots, but building culture. And let's not forget the WNBA's broader narrative. The league constantly fights for respect, for coverage, for investment. When its stars speak up, they aren't just playing, they're campaigning, and Griner knows it. This isn't just about Atlanta's homeless community. It's about reminding everyone watching that WNBA players carry more than a ball. They carry causes. They carry communities. Love her or hate her, Brittney Griner just forced the conversation to go beyond wins and losses. And that's exactly why the spotlight is burning hotter than ever. Let's dig deeper, because what Brittney Griner is doing here isn't just symbolic. It's strategic, it's personal, and it's rooted in her history. First, the origin story. Back in 2016, Griner wasn't sitting in front of cameras making announcements. She was quietly keeping shoes in the trunk of her car. Every time she saw someone in need on the streets of Phoenix, she'd hand a pair out. No fanfare, no hashtags, just action. That's where Heart and Soul was born. From one player's trunk to citywide donation bins, the initiative grew until it became recognized by the league itself, earning Griner the WNBA Cares Community Assist Award in 2023. And here's the kicker. Griner's request isn't just about helping others. It's about redefining her legacy. She knows her playing days are numbered, but if her shoe drive continues to grow, if Atlanta fans rally the way Phoenix did, then when the final buzzer of her career sounds, people won't just remember the dunks, they'll remember the impact. Now, let's zoom out. Brittney Griner's request is bigger than one player, one team, or even one city. What she's doing is reshaping the cultural DNA of the WNBA. Think about it. This is a league that has always blurred the line between sports and activism. From Maya Moore pausing her career career to fight for criminal justice reform, to the Atlanta Dream players flipping the balance of a U.S. Senate race. The WNBA has never been afraid to push beyond the hardwood. Griner's shoe drive is part of that same lineage, an act that combines visibility, empathy, and grassroots action. But here's where it gets interesting. It's player-driven. Unlike corporate initiatives that come top-down with press releases and photo ops.
Now look, the giving continues tonight here at Footprint Center. If you're heading down for the game, bring a pair, new pair, or gently used pair of shoes. They're going to have bins right in through the entrance to the arena where you can drop those shoes off. And as you can see from that video today, you can see it's making an immediate impact.
Griner's request was personal. She looked at her fans, her city, and said, "You can do this. We need you." That personal touch is what creates buy-in. It's not about a faceless brand. It's about Brittney, a woman who's been through hell, asking her community to stand with her. And the league benefits too. The WNBA thrives on authenticity. While other leagues sometimes struggle with PR spin and scripted campaigns, the W feels real. Fans don't just watch games, they believe in the players. When a star like Griner steps up off the court, it reinforces the league's identity as the most socially conscious league in professional sports. Here's the ripple effect. Young players on the Dream and across the league are watching. They see a veteran using her platform not to chase one last endorsement deal, but to build something lasting. That sets the tone. That's culture. And when the playoffs tip off, the storylines won't just be about stats or seeding. They'll be about a league where winning games and changing lives exist side by side. At the end of the day, Brittney Griner's personal request isn't just a footnote in her 2025 season. It's a statement. It's proof that even as her on-court numbers dip, her off-court influence soars. She could chase rebounds and highlight dunks, but instead, she's chasing impact, legacy, and human dignity. Critics will always question her focus. Shouldn't she be grinding for the playoffs? They ask. But that question misses the bigger picture. Griner's drive, heart and soul, teaches a lesson no stat sheet can capture. Leadership is measured in action, compassion, and the willingness to stand up when the world isn't watching. It's the kind of influence that transcends points per game or playoff seeding. And the fans are responding. Atlanta arenas are becoming donation hubs. Shoes and towels are flooding in. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about a city uniting behind a star who's redefining what it means to lead. Young players on the Dream are learning firsthand that the game isn't just played on hardwood. It's played in communities, in schools, in the lives of people who need a hand. So what does this mean for the WNBA as a whole? It's a reminder. The league's greatest stars aren't just athletes, they're cultural catalysts. Brittney Griner's request shines a light on what's possible when talent meets purpose. It's about winning on the scoreboard and winning in life. And as the playoffs tip off, don't just watch Brittney Griner for her stats. Watch her for her heart. Watch her for the lives she's touching. Watch her for the legacy she's building. One shoe, one towel, one act of dignity at a time. Smash that like button if you're inspired by Brittney's impact. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more WNBA stories that go beyond the box score. This is the kind of story that proves the WNBA isn't just a league, it's a movement.